actually just had a client a couple of weeks ago that came to us, and they truly look at the gross numbers of payout advisory pricing with the broker dealer they're at. And a prime example of that is this client. He's currently doing about 500,000 in production. He's at a 90% broker payout with this broker dealer, but he's paying 0 basis points as an admin fee on the advisory side. Some of them call admin fee, some of them call program fee, platform fee, all one and the same. But to our audience, it's important to understand what the net numbers are and not get too hung up on getting dangled with the carrot of, I'm going to get a 95% payout. Because a 95% payout is great, but what are the other fees that come along with it? An admin fee on the advisory side. Is there markups on E&O or clearing costs? Are there client fees? So understanding the net, and I'm going to go through this prime example for our audience, but it's important for our audience when you're exploring broker dealers or even just want to see what else is out there to compare it to what you currently have. Working with a firm like Trusted Visions that can really talk through the details, and this example will show that as well, so that you fully understand where you're at today and what it would look like going forward. So this client, they've got about 20 years left in the industry. They are in growth mode, but they were doing about 500,000 in production, 50 million in assets, currently at a 90% payout. And their biggest complaint was, we can't get anybody to pick up the phone when we're calling our broker dealer. So they were really suffering from a servicing and support standpoint. So outside of the numbers, you got to ask yourself, how much is my time worth in terms of trying to track somebody down within my broker dealer versus the cost? But again, going back to the numbers. So doing 500,000, 50 million in total assets, pretty much all advisory at a 90% payout. So if we take that 10% out, net of that for 500,000, they're netting 450,000. There's no admin fee on the advisory side. So again, net's 450,000. And we're talking about a scenario where, yes, there was going to be an admin fee or program fee on the advisory side, because pretty much every broker dealer, there's a few out there that don't charge any kind of admin fee, but there's very few. But as I was explaining to them, is, hey, instead of being at a 90% payout, you're going to be at a 95% payout. So let's take 5% off that 500,000. So now they're netting 475. And then you're going to pay 5 basis points on the platform fee with the new broker dealer. So 5 basis points of the 50 million, that's 25,000. So now 475 minus 25,000, you're back down to that 450. Well, again, they're netting where they're at today, 450, but they'd be netting 450 with their new broker dealer. And so one thing, his comment to me was, well, I'm better off from a recruiting standpoint having no admin fee. And my comment to him was, well, not necessarily, because if you're at a top line 90% payout, most advisors are going to expect 90, 92, 93. And so you're actually at a disadvantage from a recruiting standpoint because you don't have a high enough payout. Yeah, you can dangle with the 0 basis points, but if you can offer someone a 92, 93, and yes, they're paying 5 basis points, it's a win-win for everyone. And so what I would suggest is, even if you're not looking to make a broker dealer change, is explore what's out there and where you're at today in comparison to where you'd be at moving. And keep in mind, I mean, we'll get into transition money on later podcasts, but they were also going to get about $350,000 in transition money. And so that takes a lot of time to make up that $350,000, even if you're losing $10,000 by paying an admin fee. And again, we'll get into those details, but it's always important to look at what's out there, even if you're not looking to make a move. And to the point of this example of service and support being low or down, you got to ask, what is the cost for that? Because it's not a visible cost, but it's an efficiency cost and a frustration cost that's taking more time away from your clients. So audience, I look forward to really diving in, as we've done on previous podcasts, diving into fees and cost and payouts this month, because I know we've done this in the past, but we really haven't gotten this granular. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to call, email, or text me 480-430-5012 or info@trustedvisions.com. Hope everybody has a blessed week.